Hey guys, I'm out here at Deep Creek Hot Springs. If you'd like to learn how to get here too, continue watching this video. Before leaving the house, there's always a special ritual I have. Every single pet in the house gets a treat. Just wanted to say thank you for the early birthday present, the Canon 24mm lens. Thank you, Dan and Tiffany. We're starting this video off kind of early today. It's going to be about a 2.5 hour drive from here in Pacific Beach to get up to the Deep Creek Hot Springs. But I'll tell you, it is worth it. Here about 125 miles away from Pacific Beach. We pulled off the side of the road just to grab some gas. A little extra sunblock is always a good thing. We just got off on exit 40. We're going to be making a right onto Ranchero Road. We've been on Ranchero Road for about 10 miles. We're going to make a left onto Arrowhead Lake Road. Going to be on Arrowhead Lake Road for a little bit before making a right turn on Rock Springs Road. You guys see the dirt road starts to begin here. We've been on Rock Springs Road for probably 1.5 miles and we just came up on Bowen Road. We're going to be making a right onto that dirt road and continuing on there for quite some time. We've been on Bowen Ranch Road for about maybe 2 miles now, and you're going to come up on this little cattle crossing thing, and you're just going to continue right through it and continue till you see the private property signs. Okay, we're coming up on the private property on Bowen Ranch Road. This is where you're going to have to pay $5 per person if you're going to be out by nightfall, $10 a person if you plan on camping over the night. Some people have had some bad experiences with this guy, but I've only had good ones. Just make sure to turn off your engine when you get to this point. Okay, we're finally here at Bowen Ranch. Let me tell you, once that guy saw my camera, it wasn't so nice of an experience anymore. He was very upset at YouTubers for coming out here and exposing this place, and I completely understand why. It's such a gorgeous place. To have 1 million people come out here would definitely ruin it, especially when they don't respect the environment out here. I mean, the guy pretty much cut my head off for having a camera on me. I guess why the guy was so pissed, you can clearly see people are really not good stewards out here. There's trash and debris littering the parking lot. This is where he allows people to camp on his private property, and they treat it like trash. He even hands out garbage bags when you first come in to encourage people to pick up their trash. There's no trash service out here, and people are just really disrespecting this place from what it appears. Completely understand what he's saying. I mean, once I put this on the internet, 1,000 people watch it, and they all want to come to this spot, and they don't treat it as respectfully as I did when I was here. So if you guys do come to this spot, you really need to remember to treat this with the utmost respect. And the guy who owns the property was nice enough to print out this list of rules, and I'll read a couple to you. There's no camping in Deep Creek Canyon. You gotta basically camp near your car on his private property where he lets you camp. The creek is day use only, so really if you're down there at night, I believe it's illegal. Okay guys, we've been hiking down from the ranch, and we just came across this wooden white tipped post that says trail. If you notice, there's a rock here with an arrow pointing off to the right. Disregard that arrow. That arrow has gotten me lost more than once before. If you look on the other side of the wooden post, there's a little wooden sign that says trail. You're going to want to go to the left. If you keep walking, you'll notice there's another rock with an arrow that is pointing to the left. That rock is right. If you walk a little bit further, you'll notice somebody's created a little rock wall. I'm not sure if it will always be there, but you're going to want to keep walking towards the double wooden posts. There are several ways to take a car here. You don't have to go to that ranch. There's a car parked on my left. I assume he had to do some gnarly off-roading to get here though. My Ford Focus probably won't make it. The double wooden posts are going to be located on your right just after we pass that first wooden post. If you haven't seen those double wooden posts and you've been walking for a little bit after that first post, you might as well turn around, go back to that post. I know me, I've headed uphill from there. That's not a good idea. You want to be heading downhill on this hike. There's some uphills, but very few, heading down to Deep Creek. Okay, we're coming up on the double wooden posts just after that first white-tipped wooden post. If you notice, it's on my right now. We're gonna walk through those posts and you'll see more signage and more rocks pointing you towards the creek. Just after we went through the double wooden posts, there's this sign, and I'm sure everybody on YouTube has posted with it, but here it is. It's got some rules on there. They take their rules seriously out here. Just standing near another example of the spray painted rocks that are along the trail. You may see an orange dash. Those also lead to the hot spring. Only gone a mile and 0.2. So this isn't really that bad of a hike, but I'll tell you, if you get lost out here, it will turn into a very long hike. Heck, I'm getting my first glimpse at the Pacific Crest Trail. That kind of hike. You could hike from one end of California to the other. Found this hike searching around on Google. It had been my dream to go to a natural hot spring that isn't like a pool, that isn't filtered, and I mean, plus the water bubbles out of the ground here. So I was pretty excited to come here, and the first day off I went. So we're getting our first glimpses of the river down below us right now. I would say we're a good at least 300 feet up above it. I don't know if I get to have a message of this video, but if I did, it would be respect the spot, guys. I mean, like I said earlier, the guy's talking about gating his property off to the public because so many people have disrespected the spot. I mean, I'm not saying bring a ton of friends out here with you. I'm not saying, you know, bring a ton of beer. I'm trying to preach, bring some trash bags, pick up your trash. Don't bring glass bottles because they break. You know, if you see someone else's trash along this trail, pick it up. I'll tell you, man, he's getting sick and tired of it, and he's gonna close his property, and we're not gonna be able to come to gorgeous spots like this one. You know, at least not that way. I hear the other hike's like a 10-mile hike just to get here. So if you want this luxurious 2-mile hike to get to these beautiful, pristine hot springs, you're gonna need to respect the spot. Okay guys, we're in the most treacherous portion of the hike. I've been told in this part to just keep going straight before, and that's kind of a bad idea. I always turn right here. You'll see there's a nice little, not so steep trail. See that trail kind of running towards the bottom of this mountain, but that is the Pacific Crest Trail. Once you get to the bottom of the mountain, you have to cross a river to get over to where the hot springs are. Depending on the time of year and how long ago it rained, the water can vary in depth. I found by going off to the right over here, it's not quite as deep. Also take note, I brought my Happy Dappy water shoes. I have definitely cut my foot before climbing around on these rocks. Normally it's going somewhere where it's a little more treacherous, but for the river crossing alone, I don't think you're gonna need water shoes. Once you get down the mountain, you'll notice on your right there's a river you have to cross to get over to where everybody hangs out in the hot springs. We're crossing that river right now. We just crossed that river. It was nice and shallow this time of year. Always be careful about going after it rains because it could be up to chest high. Gotta be careful about what I film out here. The last thing I want is to get a lawsuit for filming someone while they're skinny dipping, which is allowed down here, by the way. You know, back in the day it was built by skinny dippers and hippies. At the first pool you'll see coming across the river, I want to say this is called the Sunset Pool. This stream right here looks like it would be cold, but this is actually bubbling out of the ground and it is very hot. It's kind of hard to film yourself out here without getting naked people in the shots, so I have to be very careful when I turn corners. It's personally my favorite one to hang out in. It has probably the most mild temperature. This is one of the other hot springs on the other side of the river. The shadows are coming out down here at the Deep Creek Hot Springs, and I just wanted to give a mention to all the hikers who stop here, who are hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. Here are a couple of them behind me. These guys are true American badasses, I have to say. They're out here with limited supplies, and if you decide to come out here too, something they mentioned to me was bring some oranges and some beer. There's a hiker's box here, and you can leave little goodies for them, and I know these guys haven't seen civilization in a month, so apparently anything is welcome. One of the last signs here at Deep Creek Hot Springs, and there is a hiker box below it. People do camp down here, although it's not allowed. I don't recommend you do, as I'm posting this video trying to stay in good faith of the law. I read on the forum that there is rangers that come down here and ticket people for camping, so I would just recommend you camp next to your car and hike the 2 miles down every morning. One important thing as you're leaving here to remember, make sure you remember the way you came down. I gotta say, I've spent a good hour here trying to find the right trail to head back up. You definitely don't want to be walking on the Pacific Crest Trail, because God knows how far it is till Canada. Thank you so much for watching my video. The sun is coming down, and that means it's time for me to head home. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time.